Chi creation, Krishna, waves, part 2. Right, so going back to this video, I wanted to refresh what we saw, but going back though, I just wanted to point this out. Try thinking's video, it says flat earth. It's something which he keeps saying that it's not. But also, right, you see this? You got this dot in his vision. It's going back into focus there. That's a boat. So that's on the surface of ocean. See where it is? Like on last episode, I was pointing it out. This moving camera. But you can see what it is in terms of like where the angle of the roundness changes. I'm gonna pause it. See, it starts there, you know what I mean? That's where the drastic curve is. And then you see in this dark area, and then you got that there, which it looks like a boat. A ship, rather. So then you see, it's like we've got our horizon, where we see where the limit of perceivable light is, and then the rest of it is like, you know, vast distance and such. Still seatbelt. Sometimes it's done now. It's there again. So he's saying that that's the horizon. But I'm saying it's further than that. I think it's around there. Or like you're seeing with the boats about there. You can't see it at the moment. But anyway, so also you got the sun here and you got its reflection. You see its shape. You can see how it looks like a reflection. You see how it meets it across the water. How it made that little transition. See, it leaps across the water into distance. But yeah, so as we turn it, and we're seeing the two suns come together to create the birth of this realm, we're seeing that pattern, like that mushroom shape, all that kind of thing. And just the flow of that, basically. So in the same sense, we're seeing this, and so we can see why these shapes come out this way. It's like as it's crushed into there, it's exploding outwards at the same time. So, I mean, also we've got the sun, and then we've got the ocean waves which are coming out, and so they're creating that splash shape. So it's found that match up. So it's like the sunlight and the waves, they make that pattern, which is the mimic of the two suns coming together. And also, remember that fish which looked like it were coming out of another fish, and we compared it to the sea turtle and all that kind of stuff. And it's like the shell is another part of it, you know what I mean, on the turtle. So you've got like one entity with an entity coming out of it. So the fish was showing that same thing. It's like got an extra body going around it, and it's like the fish's head was coming out of it. It's same on I think all fish have got it, but it's kind of like really subtle and it's really difficult to notice. But on that other fish, it was kind of really obvious. On that Waves of Love series. So we're seeing that same thing. We're seeing the meld of two suns, basically. So that fish with the double fish, it's two suns together. The turtle and the shell is two suns together. So this is two suns together. So when we see it there as well, you see like the shape of the sun, and then its reflection. How the second sun comes into the first sun to create the realm, like the joining of the two, the male and the female spirit. That way for that example. So the colour as well. And so we see it on our faces, we've got like as domed head in that kind of sense, and then we've got this part here as well. So like where your cheeks come out, so you got that line that comes round. So even without the tash, you've still got the shape there. So it's like you got your first dome and your second dome. See that one because of how stretched it is. And so it gives it relevance to see like how the suns merge together. So why it's stretched in the way that it is. So we see sun setting. We see other sun, its reflection. It's how it's the merging story. And so like these beards, like the Chinese men, the wise Chinese men, which have the long beards and such. It's almost like showing you that the relevance of the wisdom, or why it looks like a wise kind of beard and such. So got it again. You got the ocean waves as well. The colour of the sun, how the light with the hair, how it makes that look like light. And more redder, as often as at sunset. I don't like that picture. It's a bit bright. But again, you see that shape anyway. So we can see ocean waves, how they go around. So it creates a heart shape as well. So you can see ocean waves better that way. See like they come over and crash over, and then you got its reflection. Sunlight coming through tunnel at wave. The peacock feather. And so you got the roundness of the peacock feather, and then you've got that teardrop shape, which is like one half of it is the waves coming over. So then the other half is the waves coming over again, so it can breathe through the waves. It can see through the waves, it can breathe through the waves, it can eat through the waves, it can think through the waves, etc. So you got the heart shape. So again, like the peacock, how it comes in and out, it comes in and out. So then you've got your horizontal line. I can't turn this picture. But then you can see the sun, how it's squashed onto the horizon. And then that's its reflection. And again, you got this teardrop shape for the middle part of the peacock feather. So then you got like the waves that crash, and then you got the sun, which is projected out through the wave. So that's why it's red. And you got the sun in the distance, its reflection. Also the colour, like the whiteness, and also to the orange in that kind of way. So it shows how bright it is, and then it also shows its sunset colour. So like that. And you get your centre line. And this is where your waves come in. So this is that tear shape. We can't see the tear properly because the waves, you're inside the wave, so the wave comes all the way around you. And then back into distance again. So you've got that sense of perspective there. But also, how it dips in there like an apple in that kind of sense. Sometimes you can see it on the other side. You can see where its centre line goes. There's a slight dip there, but there's another better picture which I've shown in a previous episode. I've been trying to find another one, but I can't find one. So yeah, the similarity in that kind of sense. So when you got that there, and then you got that. So we're seeing this. You see part of the heart shape, that kind of way. But it looks more obvious because of the roundedness. That's the sun, and then that's its reflection. So it reminded me of those fish we looked at in Windows to Spirit. So like here, and you've got the sun setting, and there's only a little bit, but I mean you can see its reflection in that kind of sense. So then as the sun comes up, it shows you its path. So it's where it started, and it's coming forward. It's remembering the past in that kind of sense. So it's keeping the entire image. So as the sun got higher, then it'd create that dip there, and then you'd have that heart shape as it morphs out, kind of thing. See, reflection bends, where that's more rounded. So then this is when it does split. So when you've got the heart shape there, so it's going that way. The sun. So then we've got it again here. As the sun sets, it splits in its reflection, and then its light is projected forward into the wave. It's light, that's us, it's kind of like how we're projected forward into this wave. And different ones, so it looks like a face. Well, it's the same thing because it's like got the sun there and its reflection. And so the pareidolia, it makes a lot more sense in that kind of way. So we see the sun, its reflection, and the waves crashing with the sunlight caught in it and projecting life here. So we say the same as the jellyfish, the mushroom, the monkeys, the peacock feather. That's how it goes in and back out. That's the centre line. So our sun projects itself. It projects itself into the wave. You can see how the sun's brought forward. And so we can see into the world. So then it can split itself. You can see that spirit consciousness. It split itself so it could exist in this realm. And showing that spark of light, which light exists in all life. That's where it all comes from, in that way. Bubbles of consciousness. So back to this picture, which we didn't finish off previously. And so, yeah, we've got this symbol. It's sacred. It just naturally forms in water, like consistently, as it's finding its balance. And as the light splits, you can see the pareidolia, like the two eyes, a mouth, maybe. It's like on the insects, you get the face like that sometimes. You see, it's as the light's splitting as well. So it's that heart-brain network consciousness of the realm. That direct communication between the male and the female spirit. Showing how it's sacred. Its colour and such. As you can see, like the sacredness of it, the splitting of light, the splitting of the sun. Each one a bubble of consciousness on its own. As we see that spirit consciousness, like that spiritual, actual consciousness. It's like looking into the heavens, like that's the actual spirit realm. the abundance of it. So the sun split itself. But first, the sun expanded. As we see it that way, how much it expands. And then it cools down. And it leaves V's left behind. And we put it this way. We see the realm, which is the sun, and then we see all the wandering stars. All each a consciousness of their own. As the sun split and it cooled down, this is what was left. It split and joined back together. And then that's what was left. But we look at it this way. Where are we? So it's from the bottom, and then you can see like how the dome would be, and then how the wandering stars are all above, in that kind of sense. Underneath, or at the other side, is the absence of everything. The absence of light, the absence of, you know, that kind of thing. So we see like all the stars, all the realms of consciousness. So like the heavens, the literal heavens in that kind of way, but shown in the way that nature tells the story. So we see waves. And we see the sun. How it split itself. So it could be with everyone that's playing in the water. Like it's got arms. And joining hands with everybody else. It split itself so it could be with everyone. So it could exist on this plane. be part of this plane within itself. That's like the plane is itself at the same time. So each one like the sun, and like the previous picture, and then you got the reflection as well. Which, that's the last picture. So thank you for watching, everyone, and I'll get on with next episode. Nice one. Cheers.